All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the Ashish Ddavidd Show. I one day just decided to post on online that I'm planning to do a podcast and I'm planning to talk to people from all over the world. And if you would like to get in touch with me, and if you would like to be a part of the show, and I got so many entries. I got around, and I swear I'm not exaggerating. I got around 78 people who got in touch with me, and now the problem is that I need to prioritize the ones who are really different and really special. And today happens to be, the third or the fourth person that I'm taking online. And this is somebody who's very special because, well, she's from another country. Most people who have been on the show have been from India. And this lovely, beautiful, talented, wonderful lady is all the way from a place called Verona, Italy, if I'm not wrong. Yes,
Yes.
was that the correct pronunciation?
Yeah, it's Verona.
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 All right, Verona. I'm sorry, Verona, Italy, and well, she's here with a little ukulele in her hand, which means yes, she is a musician. She's going to tell us about her city, about her life, and firstly, I'd just like to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the Ashish Ddavidd Show, Julia De Campo. Right?
Yes, that's my surname.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being on the show, Julia. Uh, to start with, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to know about the Ashish Ddavidd Show?
Yeah, well, yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I can tell I'm already about to have so much fun with you. And yeah, we were friends on Facebook and on Instagram, and I saw that you asked for people, for artists from all over the world to be interviewed, and I was interested, so I replied, and here we are.
Here we are. All right, so there are thousands and millions of people watching this, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like around a dozen platforms. All of them right now, Julia, they all want to know who is this beautiful lady with a gorgeous smile. So tell us about yourself.
Okay, yeah, I live in Italy, so I was born and raised here. And I've been interested in arts and music, especially, but not only, also photography and writing since I was very young. But I've done also other things in my life. So I graduated from college. I was like studying different subjects, completely opposite to arts and to music. So it was a very long and troubled journey, I have to say, for me. Because I think for artists in general, whatever they do, sometimes it can be difficult to find themselves and to really listen to their intuition, and to really be confident and proud in who they are. So maybe they end up doing other things, and they end up delaying their craft, whatever it is. So this is my start. This was my start. So. But now, yeah, I'm happier than before, and I'm just being myself. And I love to communicate with people through my Instagram. I love getting to know new people. I post my photography. I love nature. I'm in the process of yeah, getting to know new people, to have a following, just to have a community, and posting about music and about my writing. So I just want to connect with people. Basically, that's what I want to do. And I think that's the first step, and that's what everyone should do right now. Every artist, because they are so afraid. So much of them, they are so afraid just to go out. And to just be themselves. But it's when you do these things that you really make mistakes even, and you really grow as a person. Because sometimes we think like, I don't know, you are very passionate about an instrument, for example, and you've been playing it, but on your own, for example, in your room or whatever. And once you start posting about it and connecting with other people, maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe that's not my instrument. So you change your route. And that's how we grow, and that's how we discover ourselves. That's what happened for me, you know.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, man. Like, so you've said some very important things, Julia. I think, like, so because I'm also a singer. I'm a voiceover artist. I'm a radio personality. I have, as you can see, a studio. Okay, the studio is called CBS Den, and I record, mix, and master independent musicians. Making original music and stuff like that. So I can relate to so many different things, Julia, that you said. One of the things you said was that you do a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
So and then you also said that it takes time for an individual to sort of find themselves, because so many times we feel that we want to do one thing, but then we end up doing another thing, and then we end up doing another thing after some time. And the, like, regular people in regular jobs, they're like, man, this girl has lost her mind, man. This guy is a little crazy, because one, sometimes he's doing this, sometimes she's doing that. What is wrong with this person, right? So to begin with, tell us, how was it for you growing
Mhm.
up as a young person in your city, you know
Yeah.
and tell us a little bit about your childhood. How was that like?
Well, I have to say it was very difficult, and it still is. Um, Especially, I have to say, as a woman, as a young girl, because my main instrument and the instrument that I really like the most is the guitar. And not many women play it all over the world. And in general, even if in my city, I come from a small city, the most difficult thing for me was to find people that they helped me during my journey, that they would motivate me, because most of them, they were men. It's mostly men that they are in this business, in music. So there was always a disconnection, and that caused me to delay my growth. But now I'm more on track than I was before. But if somebody is listening to this, I don't know. But there's one thing I want to say. If there's a young woman, there's a young girl listening to this, I want to say, don't give up, and just stay on track, and just try to find people that they can really encourage you for really who you are, and who you want to be, not because they have other motives. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
So that was the most difficult thing for me as a woman. But in general, yeah, my childhood was, well, I started actually pretty late, because I was like 19
All right.
when I started getting into music. But yeah, also with writing and all these things, just the feeling of being like isolated, and just the feeling of not being understood. But now with social media, everything is just easier than before. So you just go out, and you can much more easily find your peers, and your people that they can share with you. You're interested, what you're interested in. So, and I'm very grateful for that, because even if with coronavirus and everything, I don't feel lonely. Like I speak with people like you, online, so many times, and I always meet new friends. So that's one thing that people should use more, I think.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy that you said that because of social media, people don't feel lonely anymore. Like, think about it, like, Julia, you're sitting there in Verona, in
Yeah, it's
Italy,
crazy.
and I'm here in New Delhi, India, and we're having a conversation. And this is almost as good as, us meeting at a bar or meeting at a friend's party or something like that, and you can connect with so many people. People always criticize social media that, it's so distracting. But I would like to add to what, Julia just said, that it is how you use these mediums that can change
Right.
your life
Yeah.
completely. It's not the medium that's wrong, it's how you use it. So, another thing which is very beautiful between Italy and India, I hope my foreign minister is tuned in right now. A very cool thing between, India and Italy is the fact that the family unit is very important to both the cultures, right? In Italy, also, from what I understand, a family is, there's a lot of respect and there's a lot of importance which is given to the family unit, right? So I don't know how it is in Italy, Julia, but in India, the parents are like, no, you can't do music. You have to do engineering. You have to become a doctor. You have to do a master's in business administration and become a settled person in life.
Hmm.
So while you were growing up, what was your experience like? Tell us about a little bit about your family and how did they react to Julia doing so many things?
Yeah, it was very difficult for me because it took me a lot of years to graduate from a college that I didn't like. So I studied history and political science, and they were very difficult subjects for me. And I basically did it just for the sake of keeping them happy.
Happy.
So yeah. Also in Italy, music is viewed just as a passion, or in arts in general, they are just viewed as something that you maybe do to the side, and then you have a more stable job. But yeah, actually, there are like two types of way in approaching music in Italy, because there's like either you're like a super serious, so you go to conservatorio. I don't know how it could be translated,
It's called
like a
a
specific
conservatory.
college.
Yeah, a conservatory or a institute or a college or a, yeah.
Yeah, so there are people that they do that and then they really work in the musical field. And all the others ones that they don't do this path, they are considered like less of.
Ah. So there is
But
like a divide. There are people who go to the conservatory and they're respected a lot, and there are the other ones who are like not really taken that seriously.
yeah, but actually they can really do gigs. They can be paid anyways. They can teach music, and they are as valuable as the other ones.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's a little bit of divide, but I think that nowadays, the piece of paper is not as important as it was before.
Absolutely. I
With
100% agree with you.
some I mean, exception, if you want to be a doctor, of course, but all the other things, you can easily educate yourself online. You can take your courses. You can just study and just be focused on the thing, and then you're gonna be good, and people are gonna recognize if you're good. It's gonna
I
happen
I
sooner
I,
or later.
I absolutely agree with you. I think the value of education. Actually, if you look at some of the few recent shows that I've done and the ones that will get released very soon, one of the discussions that I always have with people is how much of a role did education play. Like, so for example, there is a girl called Vrinda who I talked to in the last episode that I just released, and she's a music student. And she actually went to KM Institute, which is run by this gentleman called A.R. Rahman, who's a big like music producer in India in the film industry and stuff. And she actually went there to get her vocal training, and
Hmm.
she wanted to have like a holistic sort of education about Western vocals, English singing. And she ended up in a course where they were teaching classical English vocals, and that is not something that interested her. So then she was saying that actually what she learned outside the school was far more valuable than what she did learn in the school.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think this is something that is applicable everywhere around the world, not just in Italy or in India, but everywhere. And as you rightly said, so many people are giving online training these days. There are so many YouTube channels which you can just go and educate yourself about. So on that note, Julia, you are holding a ukulele, and I'm feeling very bad that you're not singing. So let's have some music, man, on the show.
I don't know. I can just noodle around because I don't really. I don't know if you can you hear this.
Yes, I can hear it.
Okay. I don't know.
That was amazing. That was so nice. So what all do you do in music? Like, do you also sing?
Yeah, I sing. I play a little bit of the keyboards. I play the guitar. I play the ukulele. I like blues. So blues, it's my main.
Lovely.
It's
So would you like to sing, like, maybe if not a song, then maybe a paragraph of your favorite song? Because I'm pretty sure everybody would like to hear you sing at least a few lines from your any song.
no, because I have nothing prepared. I'm just noodling around here. No, I have
Oh.
no. I mean, singing is the last thing that I do.
So okay.
I'm
So
much
so so see, if you're not
musician.
singing for me, I'll sing for you.
Okay, that's even better. I
So
love
what
that.
what song would you like me to sing?
Oh wow,
So
I don't
blues,
know.
right? You like the blues, right? Okay,
I know
I'll
some.
sing. I'll
Okay,
sing a really nice song for you. Okay,
okay.
but I don't know. So I'll should I just sing it for you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, ding, ding, ding. I wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime Verona goes away, ting, ting, ting.
Yeah.
Anytime Julia goes away.
Nice. Love it. Love it.
So that's okay. If my guests don't sing for me, I sing for them.
Good.
So,
Good.
let's spice things up, Julia. You're the first international guest on my show. So, instead of just me asking all the questions, you know what? Even you can ask me questions, man.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I've never been to India, but
All
I've
right.
always been attracted to your culture.
All right.
And so musically, like the sitar, I've heard of it. And what do you think about the connection between like Indian music and Western music? Like
So,
what are the things you like? Or
so I have personally, I grew up listening to a lot more Western music. So I was when I was growing up, my parents were listening to the Beatles, to Jim Reeves, to James Brown, to Carpenters, to ABBA. Then when I was in school, I was listening to a lot of rock and metal music. I don't know, like I just wasn't into my local Bollywood music at all. I wasn't into like the sitar or the tabla, like good Indian boys and girls should be listening to. So I was listening to all kinds of Western music, man. And then when I was in school, I was singing. Like I just lost a bet. Okay, the bet between my friend and me was that, dude, if you lose the bet, you have to
Mhm.
sing in the grade 10 singing competition. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh shit. And I lost the bet. So now I'm in a situation where everybody in my school is like, and you know how much pressure there is, right? In 10th
Yeah.
grade. Like there's so much peer pressure, and like you don't have a mustache and like little hair is coming on your face. And you're like so awkward. Like you're just like,
It's
puberty is just like starting to blossom and your hormones are like all over the place. And in such a situation, I lost a bet. And now I had to sing in front of the entire 10th grade. It was like heaven or hell kind of a situation. And I decided to sing. And my sister at that time used to play the guitar. She used to learn the guitar, right? So I
Mhm.
learned like these four chords somehow, and I managed to somehow, like practice this one song, Right Here Waiting for You by Richard Marx. I don't know if you've heard of the song.
No.
So I sang that, and I just I told my sister, what will I do on stage? Where should I look? I don't know where to look. She was like, look somewhere in the background and just smile as if I'm standing there or some friend of yours. So I was just
Mhm.
looking there and I was smiling. And in my imagination, in my imagination there was some friend of mine standing there, or some beautiful girl like you, standing there. So I'm just singing. And I was so lost in my imagination, I forgot that there is a competition happening. And I was so
Wow.
happy. I was so happy when I was singing it. I think I might have played a few wrong chords also, Julia.
Who cares?
but like the judges were so impressed. They were like, what the fuck, this guy's like like this guy's like 15 and he's so confident and he's so happy. And
Wow.
I came first in that competition. So like, so after that, any occasion used to happen, like annual day or Independence Day. And they used to push me to sing on stage. And so I mean, music happened to me like that. And then later on, when I was in college, I formed a band which went on to be one of the biggest bands in India, called Them Clones. At that time, it was a niche, like alternative rock band. Then I was singing with a cappella choirs. I was doing musical theater, and I got into a lot of that, like Andrew Lloyd Webber, Tim Rice kind of music.
Mhm.
And then I went on to do become a radio DJ.
Mhm.
And I got into voiceovers. Actually, I'm a trained filmmaker, but one day I just landed up like drunk in a radio station, and they offered me a job. I was like, fuck, this shit is awesome, man. I'm drunk and I got a job. Like,
Oh, but that's true. What you say, it's so true. You asked me before to
yes.
sing. I wouldn't sing because actually, for me, playing music and singing, it's very different. I've played the guitar, like blues guitar, and also there are some videos of me, and I've played it live, so I have some experience there. But I've actually never sing in
Okay.
front of people
All right.
in public,
Right.
because when you sing, I mean, I've recorded myself, but when you sing, it's just it's so weird because you get so emotional and you have no control. But when it's the instrument, even if I tend to get very emotional when I play my music, and I'm sure many people do,
Yes.
and when you sing, or even when you speak normally like we are doing right now, when you're in front of people, it's so crazy how the emotion can get you in a second, and you just make mistakes, or you're just zoning out. I mean it's
Yes.
crazy.
I also like, I remember what you said in the beginning. You had said that, for a lot of artists to actually take their work and like put it out there on the internet requires a lot of courage. It
Yeah.
requires for people to have a lot of faith in them, and a lot of people are very shy, and it takes a lot of risk, especially in places like Instagram and YouTube, where these platforms are known for people just coming and trolling and just leaving like funny comments like I don't know what kind of fun, I don't know what kind of joy people get out of it, but I mean it might, and you know what, Julia, it might be fun for somebody who's reading those comments. Sometimes I see a post on Facebook and I'm like, screw the post, let me see the comment.
Yeah, it's just a whole new thing that's happening. I know, I know.
Yeah, but I think as an artist it takes a lot to open up and to put yourself out there. So I think you're in that phase where you're beginning to do that. So how do you manage to not get affected by all of that and still put yourself out there? How do you do that?
Mm, I'm still figuring out how to do that because it took me many years, for me to be confident in what I want to do, what I want to say, what I want to write. I'm about to publish some of my poetries. I love writing, so I would probably publish poetry collections and books in general. But for me, what helped me, it was some speakers that I found on internet and some books that I've read, Chase Jarvis, for example, and people that they just motivated me because I couldn't find this motivation within my peers, except for just very few exceptions. And then I basically have come to a conclusion that life is short.
Life is
Life is
short, man.
short, and people don't fucking. We forgot about this. We forget about this, and if we have something inside, it's because it's supposed to be there and it's supposed to also come out. So the fact that it comes out, whether it's a song, whether it's a poetry, or it's a podcast, it's actually more important than the thing itself.
Yes, the
You know
fact that
what I
it
mean?
comes out.
It's already a win. It's already a win because it's like a release. Then you can watch it from afar. You can kind of rewatch yourself. Or you can re-listen what you put out or your song, whatever, and then you can change it. You can change it. You can delete it. You can be like, oh my god, I don't like that. Let me change myself, or let me explore. But you have to put it out, the thing,
Yes, and
because
whatever
it's.
that thing is, written word, poetry, music or singing or anything.
Yeah, because it's in the act of expressing yourself that you find out who you are and where are your weaknesses and your strengths. So yeah, I just encourage everyone who's listening and they maybe have a fear inside that they are not enough or whatever. No, man, like you know,
And I
do it.
think a big part of it is also to allow yourself to be not perfect,
Yeah,
to
that's true.
like forgive yourself for making mistakes, because only when we are imperfect are we perfect.
That's true. That's another thing that I'm working on, and I'm realizing it in this week. I'm realizing this, but yeah, it's it's the quantity that you want to put out there, not the quality, because the quality, yes, it's also important, but it comes. I think it comes afterwards, because
Yes,
especially when you are in the beginning, you just have to. It's like vomiting, literally, your
yes,
stuff, and then you see it, and then you can be like, okay, this, let me delete that, and then you choose.
yes,
But first of all, you have to, like, one thing for me, for with Instagram, I was obsessed with like having a perfect Instagram grid and just having all the things that they match with the colors and having beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to realize that it's not even that important. Like, because people do not connect to perfection. People
Absolutely.
connect to humanity, to, the thing that we have inside.
And you know what, Julia, to add to that, I'll tell you something which is true to this podcast, okay? So, a lot of people make these perfect podcasts, right? Like, and there'll be like these memes and jokes and shit which come in between, like, right, like that, like, a few moments later, and all that
Yeah.
shit, like, people will put. And somebody was asking me the other day, bro, like, your videos are so simple. There is no editing, there is just one long take, just two people talking. And I'm like, dude, that is how it is in real life also. You know? I am not
Yeah.
trying to make something which is like plastic and perfect, like a Barbie doll podcast where everything is, photoshopped and stuff. I'm like, I just have like a few lights here and there's a microphone, and that's more than enough. And
Yeah.
another thing that I would like to say is that, adding to what you said, that, you just need to vomit it out, right? The thing
Mhm.
is that a lot of people, so I don't know if you know, but I also do voiceovers, right? So I've been doing voiceovers for almost 17 years now, okay? I work with the Discovery Channel, I work with National Geographic, I work with History Channel, I work with a lot of big brands. And, people have a tendency to ask me, how can we sound like you? And,
Mhm.
Julia, one of the first things that I tell them is, you can't be somebody else. You can only be like a better version of yourself. Like, like, say, for example, Julia used to sound a certain way
Mhm.
6 months back. And now
Mhm.
Julia sounds different. And
Mhm.
sometime later, she's going to sound different. So sometimes it's like going to the gym, when you go the first day, you can't walk out of there, like looking like Superman or something. It takes time, things take time. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I think it's also because people who are not into arts, yeah, like music or even painting or drawing, that's another thing that I like to do. They're just drawing. Um, they tend to see as these people as talented. Like, oh, you have talent, and that's a word that it's frequently used and misused
Yes.
a lot of times, because it's not. I don't think it's talent. I think it's skill, and it's
Yes.
something you've developed through the years. Nobody is born with talent. I mean, you can like some things more than others, but it's just a skill set. It's competence. It's not talent. It's actually an insult to say to somebody that they are talented. When we see these actors or we see these musicians, whatever, they are not talented. They are like us, but they've been working on that for 20 years. And you
Yes.
don't see these 20 years. You just see the final results and you think they are God, but no, they are like you. They just were more focused. That's another thing that I'm trying to do, like, just to be more realistic and be like, don't daydream and just do the work, and you're gonna see the results.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of people also judge an artist based on how good they are right now or how many Instagram followers they have, or, then people are very quick to sort of put you in a box. Oh, he's a struggling artist. Oh, he's in an experimental phase. He's not, and they just like kind of discount you as somebody who's just experimenting. But it's not easy to be an artist, and it is very, very difficult. As a matter of fact, somebody who gets, we actually struggle probably more than someone who has, a degree, because
Yeah,
it's so much
totally.
easy to just get a job and do like a 9 to 5, but to be an artist is a 24-hour job.
Yeah, because you're always thinking about what your next move is going to be, how you can monetize your skills. So yeah, it is difficult, but it is a choice. I mean, you enjoy it at the end of the day. And I think that also for so many people it comes naturally, because these people like me, for example, that I like to read and write and play music and just doing photography. It's just something that you want to do because you have a urge to do it. It comes from your soul. It's just something that you have to do it at some point.
Very true. And so tell us about what is happening like right now in your life that you're most excited about, or something that you were part of, uh, just to encourage people out there.
With Corona, nothing much is happening in Italy. So yeah, I'm just basically in my room most of the times. But yeah, I'm just perfecting what I've been doing in the past years. That's what I'm doing basically. So just collecting all the work and all the ideas that I've had with my music and with my writing. So if anybody's listening to this and it's interested, they can follow me, on Instagram, and they're gonna see that there's gonna be a change in the things that I will be posting, for example. And yeah, I'm just trying to be more of myself, just have no fear and just see what happens and see what kind of people are going to be drawn to what I do.
And what is the local scene in your city or in your area like, as far as independent musicians are concerned? How is that like right now? Everything might be locked down, but otherwise, what is the scene like for independent musicians? Are there a lot of shows? Are there album releases?
Yeah. Usually Verona, I mean, in the north of Italy, yes, there are a lot of people that they play. They play. There are a lot of bars and places. There's a lot of live music. But yeah, it depends also on one genre you may like. So there are like metal bands, blues bands, and then there's the whole opera scene.
Wow.
Like I told you before, yeah, because Verona. I don't know if you've heard like Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare. The whole thing was based in Verona, so it has a very
Wow.
romantic vibe. The city. There's the arena. So in the arena, so yeah, like I told you before, Italy, it is kind of two-faced. So it has the local bands, maybe younger people, and they have like all the blues, jazz, and metal, and rock, and then there's the more sophisticated side. So arena, opera, and I really like them both. So I'm looking forward to this corona to the corona situation to end, so I can just go out and listen to the shows, because they are so inspiring. And when you go and listen to other musicians play, that's where you get more inspired, I think, because after you watch so many like YouTube videos or shows or Instagram videos, we musicians and artists, we tend to think that that's how they play.
Yeah.
But then when they play live, it's very different. So it's very useful for people to get that reality check sometimes, because some people, they actually play better live, and some people, they are worse at the
Yes.
same time. So it's very important for music to be alive. So I will encourage everyone who's an artist to get on their Instagram and get on their following and do these videos. But then they also have to make sure that they will be able to deliver when it's time to go live,
Yes.
because there's an energy, and you could be different, you could be better, or you could be worse. You're never gonna know. So
Absolutely. And also, there's this whole thing of original music versus cover bands, right? So, what is this scene like in your city? Are musicians making bands which play covers more, or are they also people who
yeah,
are doing
definitely.
original?
Yeah, the cover bands, they usually make more money, and
Probably.
they get, yeah, and they book more gigs. It's usually like that. Yes. I have
So
nothing more
so
to say.
so 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 what kind of music are you right now? Are you writing your own stuff, or is it a
Or
blend of both? Because
yes.
both could be fine, you know.
It's a mess. It's a hot mess. That's what I do. It's a mess, but yeah, it's original. I write original music. I like writing, and I used to play also in a band, and we used to do instrumental blues. So that was kind of at the crossroads, because it was original, but at the same time it was blues, so based on these bass lines that we all know. So people were, it was not something entirely new to the ears. So that's also the problem, that people tend to enjoy more what they've already heard.
Familiar music.
Yeah, that's human, and that's okay. I mean, we cannot compete with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, like, Julia, I'm just wondering, you're in such a romantic place.
Yeah.
How's the romantic life going?
For me,
Yes, for
for me,
you.
it's like it's dead. For
Oh
me,
my
it's dead.
God.
Nothing is
Oh
happening.
my God.
Nothing is happening here.
Oh man,
No,
no,
but
there's no action happening, nothing.
no. No, but it's a very romantic city. Romeo and Juliet, the colors, the just walking in at the center of Verona, the whole vibe. It's like Rome, but um, smaller. Basically, that's what it is.
So
That's how I
hopefully,
feel Verona.
so hopefully after the lockdown, uh, Julia will find
People are gonna go
her.
crazy.
Julia will find her Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo, where are you?
Where are you, Romeo? And so, one of the things I've always been fascinated with Italy, Julia, is the pizza.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And you
Yeah,
know how people talk like this. What are you doing, my friend? What the?
I've used my hands a lot. Have you seen that?
I know, but you haven't spoken to me like this. What the hell question are you asking me?
Yes,
Let's
basically
just
this is
let's do this for the thumbnail. Mm. so
this
so
is
so tell me, do you love
basically this.
pizza?
Okay, let me
Tell
explain
me,
you
tell me, please.
this. Yeah, this means, what are you talking about? So this is the meaning. So if I don't say nothing and I come up to you and I do like, this means, what are you talking about? I mean, no.
Okay, so in India, the same thing is like this is the same gesture is like
Also, this is another gesture. This is eating.
eating. So if somebody
Yes,
says that means let's go and eat.
right, exactly. Another gesture could be this one,
This one,
like this one, like
like
I want to go, like
like this,
let's go. Yeah, like slightly. But there are
like
so many. Like
okay,
there are
okay. Is
some
this is this is this
books
is
have
there?
been written.
Yeah, yeah. Please, I want to learn.
Yeah, books have been written about Italian language. The Italian gesture. I'm not kidding.
Tell me,
Like
tell me, tell me more. Tell me the
it's a whole culture. It's a whole culture. But yeah, Italy. It's a very interesting country. Also, yeah, for the food, obviously, and it's very different from the north to the south.
wow.
Also,
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
yeah, economically speaking, also like the north is very different. Also the weather, it's a small country, but everything is happening in Italy. Like it's crazy. But
Wow.
also the south is very beautiful, and it's very close to the north Africa.
Okay.
So there are a lot of, so the seaside. It's a whole different vibe. In the north, it's more foggy. People are more reserved. So the weather also plays a part
Yes.
into how people behave. Um, so I like to see the differences in the people.
In India, it's the same. The extreme north part is the Himalayan mountains. All right. So people that are
Mhm.
like really chilled out, like they wake up like later in the day, they do a little bit of work, and then they come back home for lunch. and and people in Delhi, because it's full of pollution and there's so much heat, it in the summers it becomes really really like 40 degrees, 42 degrees Celsius, and so everybody's just losing their shit in traffic, man. They're like,
Oh,
"भैंस क्या कर रहा है तू? गाड़ी चला हुआ है, क्या चला रहा है गाड़ी? गाड़ी चलानी नहीं आती तेरे को? क्या कर रहा है बे?" So
yeah,
so so
that's one thing that I knew about India, because I think I've seen some videos,
yes.
and people, they drive. I don't know how you guys can drive like that. Like, like
I
it
know,
looks
yes.
like everybody is about to die in 1.5 seconds. When I see these videos, like all the cars are just, how can you go
Okay,
like that?
Julia, say hi Ram.
Hi Ram.
बोल ऐसे ऐसे बोल ऐसे hi Ram.
Hi Ram.
Yes. Hi Ram
What
means
does it mean?
that means oh my god. So
Exactly.
say इसको गाड़ी चलानी नहीं आती. इसको गाड़ी
Mhm.
चलानी नहीं आती. से इसको गाड़ी चलानी नहीं आती.
No, it's too long. I don't know. Okay, repeat that.
Okay, I'm going to say it again. Okay.
I'm learning Indian,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
learning.
So
Oh
okay,
my-
try to say this. Okay, इसको
इसको
गाड़ी चलानी
गाड़ी चलानी
नहीं आती.
नहीं आती.
इसको
I hope
गाड़ी
you're not messing with me. This is not just some curse word or
no.
something. Because
So that means
I will get you.
so that means oh my god, this guy doesn't know how to drive a car.
Exactly.
So have you ever had Indian food?
No, I mean sort of, but I think it's not the same.
Proper
It's
Indian.
not the original. Yeah, like I think I've had like rice and like chicken
Curry.
with the curry. Yeah, these kind
Chicken
of
tikka
dishes. But I
masala.
don't,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't think they were, because Italians, they have very like high standards for food, and they tend to Italianize
Everything.
everything that comes from the outside. So like the sushi that we have here, and also we have also Indian food. That's true. We have Mexican restaurants. We have all kinds of restaurants, but they are never real. They are always kind of
Like so the same way. So
chilled. They are chilled to the
let me
Italian
let me
palate.
tell you, in India we have pizza, okay? But
Mhm.
they put butter chicken and tandoori chicken on it and then they make pizza.
Oh my god. No, 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 no. No, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know, man.
So they make pasta, but they put palak paneer in it. So if you have it, you'll say hi Ram.
Yeah, I will. I will.
So anyway, Julia, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing so much of your time and your wonderful energy on the show.
Thank you to you. Yeah, I hope that everybody who has listened has had an amazing time. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Instagram, and it's my name, Julia, with a J, and my surname, which is Dacampo, Dacampo. That's what, yeah.
For those of you who didn't hear that, her handle is @Julia Dacampo, which is JuliaDacampo. She makes wonderful music, and the content is going to change, but it's going to be amazing nonetheless. And is there any last message that you'd like to give to all the thousands and thousands of people in India and all over the world who are watching you right now, Julia?
You have to come to Italy and you have to taste our real pizza. That's the only thing that I want to say.
All right. I hope you've had fun on the Ashish David show. How was
Yeah.
your experience of being on the show? Did you like it?
Oh my God, yes. Amazing.
And
Lovely and fun.
and so there are some people who are like watching this and they're like, I don't know if I want to be on the Ashish David show. Is there something that you'd like to tell them?
Go for it. Why would you not go and talk with this amazing guy? Just go for it.
All right. Thank you. And on that note, thank you so much, Julia. And the next time I talk to you, I hope you have a bunch of new updates. And I'm pretty sure my
Yes.
audiences are going to love this. You have yourself a lovely evening and
You too.
take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.